was cold. I was actually surprised with the temperature. Like, I know it's their summer. However, I was expecting it to be a lot windier, but because in the main camp we were surrounded by the mountains, it did make it a little bit, it protected us from that windshield. However, when we went to the secondary camp where we were conducting the observation, you could definitely tell the difference. It was windier. So, it was mainly like
These actors can't keep their stories straight.
And now look at that wind's whipping, sun in the south. It gets gross every day when that happens.
Hard for me to see.
Like that weather right there is miserable. You can hear the wind.
it's like the whole entire time, and that kind of throws off your circadian rhythm. And you're in your tent trying to sleep, you only get a few hours out of the time. People are constantly walking around, it's paper thin, you can hear people crunching in the snow and ice, and it was just a really hard trip. But I am forever grateful that I went. I'm glad that I was there to observe, to verify. I'm happy with the cast that went. I'm happy with the cast that went. Like,
Happy with the cast that went. Wow. And she sounds a lot like Witsit, saying that she was just there to observe and verify. Okay. As if the words of a complete stranger nobody in the community has heard of means anything.
during like nighttime, like, obviously because the sun never went down. So when you're laying there, it's just the eerie quiet. There's no bugs, there's no street lights, there's no cars. It's very eerie. I've never experienced such quietness like that before either. And you're in your tent trying to sleep, you only get a few hours out of the time. People are constantly walking around, it's paper thin, you can hear people crunching in the snow and ice, and it was just a really hard trip. But
So was it eerie and just quiet, or was it loud and crunchy and people all the time walking around?
well, to my previous point, how I stated before, I didn't come into flat Earth because I looked at the sky. In fact, the 24-hour sun wasn't even something that I really ever thought about, or, even thought could potentially from the Glober side be an implication for the flat Earth, until basically this whole TFE thing. So I was just like, okay, if
And we're supposed to believe this is a real flat earther. Someone who's never even considered this before she was accepted magically to go on this trip. And yeah, no, none of this makes any sense.
so, it was actually just easier to kind of just take that step back and, kind of just let.
Yeah, it is easier to take a step back. So obviously, you're admitting that you're cool with taking the easy way out of things instead of doing the research yourself, instead of actually, caring about the topic at all before trying to convince us all that you're a real flat earther.
Sadly, we got to see that there are some people even within our own community that do lack that discernment. And again, it's not to throw shade at them, but at the same time, it's just, have you ever bothered to just have a conversation with any of us one on one, or even as a group, to actually talk about the experience as opposed to just judging things from your living room couch? So, yeah.
She sounds a lot like Kai throwing out insults and then claiming she didn't mean it like that. Like, oh, I didn't, you guys are just not doing your research, and you just couldn't be bothered to talk to us about it. Like, are you serious? Like, you couldn't be bothered to even do research on a 24-hour sun before applying to go to TFE. And I say applying with air quotes because we all know that she was selected. She wasn't, chosen because of her wit and knowledge on the topic. So, like, please, lady, you're not fooling anybody. This is ridiculous. And you're just making yourself look even more pathetic the more that you talk. Not to mention, this chick hasn't been to any meetups. She hasn't done any of the footwork the rest of us has done, going out and talking to people. Not to say that you have to do that to be a flat earther, but to sit here on her high horse and act like because she got some free trip to Antarctica chosen because daddy, is part of the cabal or whatever, now all of a sudden she can tell us that we're just sitting on our couch, not doing anything. Like, bitch, please.
I don't have a dog in this fight. There's nothing for me to benefit, I I'm again, like to what Mark said, I could have hawked to it this crap, and gone on done all this, but I didn't. I retreated and I hang out in my little silo on Clubhouse with Flat Earth Gang and stuff like that, and we continued, opposed to just judging things from your living room couch. So, yeah.
She talks like these people are so accessible. Like I've never once seen her in Geos, or actually no, in Geos one time in Earth Awakenings, and of course the whole it was right before they went. It wasn't even after they went. She's been in hiding. Witset's now been in hiding. The last time Witset was on Earth Awakenings was the night of my presentation, and he, you guys all heard that he completely avoided any of any of the shadow topics, anything that was in the presentation that he claimed he watched. He just said that he didn't see it and he didn't know what I was talking about. And then he just wanted to hyper focus on Vapegate and the stupid cheesy shit that obviously has been proven that he's a liar over and over and over again. And now he's in hiding. So super cringy with the Hawk Tuah comment also, and Mark's face. Oh my gosh. And he's so old and it's so creepy. This whole thing is just so like, what does this have to do with flat earth? Like why is it only about looks? Why is it, like even here in a minute with Patty's clip, like, oh, she looked amazing. It's not, oh, she made some good points, or oh, they did a demonstration or observation or are planning a something. It's all about looks. It's like the Hollywood flat earth bullshit.
But the witch hunt of our own was pretty gnarly. But now looking back, with what Jaren has done, it's just kind of like this is a saga, and we're all trying to get to the bottom of it. But I mean, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were here, and I trust that you were there, and I trust that you're after the truth. And I think that it's really brave of you to have gone
So
and
brave.
dealt with it. And I'm glad that they didn't give you so much heat like the boys got. But it's just all kind of, it's just wild, right? I don't know what else to say.
She was there. Period. At my stance. Thank you, DJ. And you're absolutely right. No, Lisbeth was there. Austin was there. Jaren was there. In my opinion, and it absolutely happened as is. Again, I know that our community is hyper aware of everything, and so we created 10 different gates before they even got back. The snow gate was just killing me. It's like, and I told you, it's like, look, I lived in Colorado for 20 years. I know snow. Nothing wrong was happening with the freaking snow. So stop it. But again, freaking snow. So stop it. But again, because
Come on, guys, stop it. Stop making fun of us, okay? I mean, we may disagree in the public eye, but we're still same team. So, we have each other's back no matter what. Fe core means iron core, means molten core. They think it's a globe this whole time. They've been LARPing as flat earthers this whole time. And this is everything that's happening is like 7-8 years ago on repeat. It's just this is what they do. This is their agendas. They milk the community. They, try to pretend like they're doing observations and experiments just to get more money out of people. And I think they've just like tapped out the flat earthers, and now they need to move on to the Globers. I don't know. They sell their apps and their nonsense, and I don't think it's getting as big as what they wanted it to get. So now they have to broaden, they have to LARP as Christians, they have to now flip and get the Globers to start donating to them because they need more money. They always need more, that, or they don't need any more money, and they're just doing their money laundering schemes through their YouTube stuff, just donating money back and forth to each other in large sums. It always was suspect to me.
Let's use, for example, the Antarctica thing. You can be a person who thinks that you were there, that they went there and they saw the sun and the sun didn't set. Or you can be a person that watches Strange World who thinks that the whole thing was fake and they never went there. Or you can be a person that watches Strange World who thinks that there was a fake laser sun in the sky. It's kind of an open sort of show where people who watch this are just flat earthers or flat earth adjacent, and they enjoy having sort of the community, sort of family community, and hearing from other people who are also flat earthers who have different beliefs. So I like that thing about Strange World.
If only their words were ever true. They never are. I've been banned since 2017 from all of these people's chats. Like, this is what they do. Fe Core and company They claim that they're open-minded. They claim that they're so welcoming of people with different opinions, but in reality, they're not. They ban everybody. If you don't agree, they call you a troll, a shill, all these other things, and attack you and get all of their minions to attack you, and that's just what they do. Don't dare ask questions about previous fundraisers that they raised money for that never came true. Don't ask about the balloons. Don't ask about the money. Don't ask about anything, or you instantly are a troll and banned. They create the trolls, and then they wonder why we backlash at them.
Did you know that Patricia was going to do it? Yes, I did. You see, I got advance notice that Patricia was going to do the same thing and said nothing because, as my father said, until it's happened, it hasn't happened. A full day before Patricia contacted me, I got an inside tip. And before that guy got an inside tip, he got a tip that went up through the grapevine. And the original tip was leaked by Jaron Campanella from Jaronism, who said, and I quote, two people in the Flat Earth community, content creators, are going to flip. I have them. They're in my pocket. So, boasting to a degree is like, I was the one that turned them. It's like, okay, so now we have a new wrinkle, which is, and he was 100% correct. How did Jaron know in advance with 100% accuracy that these two people were going to flip? These two people did not have a change of heart, and they did within one day of each other. And then then the timeline gets a little fuzzy. And again, I'm not trying to connect too many dots here, but that also implies that the 500th show that we were on, Patricia was already there. I will give her the benefit of the doubt. She was there. She looked flawless. She was perfect. It was a great show. Thank you for that. Did Patricia know that right after that show was over, she was gone? Maybe not, but Jaron did. So if that's the case, hey, you know what? Gold star. Great, fantastic, great. If she was doing it out of professional courtesy in showbiz, that happens all the time. Hey, I want to have, Mark do a good show, everything. But there was a bit of a disconnect because right after, on Friday when she sent me the email, which I'm not going to read because I'm not going to give you the soundbite, and she encouraged me to read it on air, which I'm not going to because it sounds basically like a globalist recruitment letter. There was no other follow-up. There was no foreshadowing like Robbie. There was no phone calls. There was no private messages back and forth. It was like Friday. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm out of the show. I'm out of Flat Earth. I'm gone forever. Bye. Vapor trail. You can hear the tires screeching in the background, which we may or may not discuss.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. It's showbiz. How many like key terms can we pick out that he used that basically give away the fact that this is all staged, fake and gay. It's all nonsense. They're all going to be partying together when the holidays come. Next Flat Earth conference, they're all going to be hanging out just like 2017, 2019, all these other years that they did conferences and they fought with all these different people, and then you see them all hanging out buddy and donating to each other, and it's just like the United Nations. Everybody acts like they're fighting in the limelight, but they're all still cool with each other. They're all still part of the club. They all still cover for each other. It's just pathetic, and the fact that they think that we don't see it, they're struggling to stay relevant right now. And I'm contributing to their relevance by even making this, but it was just too funny to not point out their own contradictions and how retarded they sound. And yeah, anyways, so y'all have a good night. Peace.